So listen, I gotta make this video because I learned some stuff yesterday. Now, remind you, I volunteer at this museum called the Caribbean Space Museum. And this museum is all about the Caribbeans, every island that's in the Caribbeans. And I got into a frustrating, heated, cordial, and calm conversation with some people. Now, I don't know if they're immigrants, but they're not from here. They're not from America. So I'm gonna just say that. And I asked him, no, I was telling him, he was asking me why I volunteer, blah, blah. I said, well, for right now, Florida not hiring, and I don't like sitting down in the house, being bored. So, I volunteer. I come volunteer places. I found this place, so I volunteer here. He said, okay. He said, so when I said that we're not hiring, I said, no one's hiring. Now, remind y'all, I have had 150 job interviews from May 20th, 2025 to yesterday, literally May 21st, 2026. I have had 150 job interviews and not one job called back, text back, nothing back. I go into these places, you interviewed me last week. Favorite line. This is their favorite line. Oh, we're not hiring at the moment, but you can keep checking in, or I'll just write your name and number, and I'll give you a call if we need anything. And then I'm the type of person, I'll be like, yeah, just call. If a person call off, you can hire me for that. Like, if a person call off, that's just how desperate me as an American need a job. Like, I will come in on somebody's off day. I will come in on somebody that did a no-call, no-show, somebody that can't come in. If they finna clock out right now and say they sick, call me and I'll be on my way. I'm that desperate for a job. So when I said to this foreigner, they're not hiring, he said, yeah, they are. No, because the question was, I did ask the question, I say, what's the difference between y'all money and our money? He said, y'all currency is better. Y'all currency is different. We're going to start with that. Because I told this man, I basically found a $100 bill, two $50 bills, and I found $1,000 bill. And it was actual real money. I thought it was some damn little toy money. I just picked it up. So I use it to play with my nephew and, teach him how to, count money and stuff like that. What is this, 100? What is this, 1,000? What is this, 50? Blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, the money that I found was real money. I'm like, huh? This is, so what country is this? It said it was Jamaican money. So me, I'm thinking I'm rich. Shit, I got $1,000 bill. I got $100 bill. And I got two $50 bills. Bitch, oh dang, I got money, not rich. I know I'm being sarcastic. So I'll take it to the currency at the mall. I'm telling this part first before I go back to the conversation of the job part. I take it to the mall to go to currency. These motherfuckers gave me $6 back. So you mean to tell me I could go to Jamaica with $6? And guess what it said? It said $1,428 or some shit like that, right? It wasn't even, just $2,000. I literally had $2,000 in Jamaican money. So you mean to tell me I can go to Jamaica for, just say, for example, for a vacation, go out of town with my loved ones, partner or something, or friends, homegirls. I could go to Jamaica with $6 and they would give me $1,000? $2,000? He say, Liz, that's why, now back to the conversation. And I told him about this. He said, yeah, that's why we come here to America to work. He said, we don't take y'all jobs. He said, if you want the hard truth, you Americans complain. y'all don't want to work. Y'all refuse to work. For example, we'll come to this country as foreigners, Jamaicans, Haitians, whoever we are, Dominican Republic. We'll come here and work at McDonald's and be a regular employee. And we'll work 3 or 4 days out the week. Because when we get our paycheck of $200 and something and we're satisfied with that and we're good with that, because we take our money back to our country and we build our houses, we build our homes. You know, some people build into their stores or whatever they're doing, or, you know, and he said, guess what? If you don't have a citizenship here and you work here at a job, he said, you better be taking your money and putting it into something, because if you get deported, at least you get deported and you get deported back to your home that you were building, or that you are building and creating. He said, where we're from, we don't have jobs like y'all have jobs. We don't really have, he said, most of the time, our McDonald's in our country, it's only 2 people that work the entire day from 12 to 12. Because we don't really eat restaurant food like that, but we do have restaurants in our country. If you go to our KFC, if you go to our McDonald's, if you go to our Wendy's in our countries, only 2 people work the entire day. He said, you see how you go to a corner store and it's the same 4 people that work there the entire year? Yeah, and they're not hiring at a corner store, a convenience store, at a convenient gas station. He said, that's how we work in our countries. He said, versus here, he said, you guys got to understand, America is the richest country in the world. And y'all can waste after waste after waste. Y'all can throw food away. Y'all can put something up and throw it out in an hour. He said, no, we cook something in the morning. That same batch of chicken gonna be there at 12 o'clock at night. He said, because that's not bad. Now, tomorrow, we may toss it. Or we may reheat it and try to sell it, and then we end up selling it. But he said, you guys waste after waste. You guys have Section 8. You guys have housing. You guys have food stamps. You guys have medical. You guys have, he said, in our country, it's all about money, pay, or trade. You damn near have to trade your entire bike, your moped, your motorcycle, your Yamaha motorcycle. You trade it in just for a little bit of groceries in our country. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then he said that we work here. He said, the jobs you guys complain about, we work at. So then when they're telling you guys we're not hiring, he said, do you know some of us will work for $1 an hour? And if we work 5 hours, we have $5. Now remember what you said when you took the money to currency and you had $6 and you had $2,000. He said, you see that? You see that? He said, this is y'all country. He said, we're not doing nothing wrong. Y'all country is rich. I would love to come work at a part-time job at Wendy's. I would love to come work at a part-time job at McDonald's. I work 5 hours and work 3 days a week. He said, but y'all won't do that. Y'all complain about that. You guys in America would rather scam and rob and steal and complain about the hours you get. If you work 5 days a week, you're calling off random sick. You work 4 days a week, you can't come in today, or you're late. He said, y'all Americans is the reason why they're not hiring. They'll see you, they'll see me, they'll hear my accent and hear your accent. They'll hire me because I'm going to go with the whatever it is, the deals they've been. You're not going to agree as an American to work for $1 an hour. You're not going to agree as an American to work for $5 an hour. Y'all want to make $20 and $80 an hour, but what I was telling him was, we live here permanently. We were born here. You damn right. I want my $15 an hour, $16 an hour. Shit, I want my $12 an hour. But $1 an hour, I'm not using my money to go back to no damn country for a house. And that man said, but you could though. So if every American was doing that, who gonna live in America? I'm just saying, it's just a lot of crazy stuff that occurs. Like, so if every last one of us Americans, you see all these cars? I'm sitting at a bus stop. Anyways, but you see all these cars? If every last one of us worked at our jobs and build our homes in other countries, I'm confused. But because he said, but you could though. But you could, though, is what got me lost. But back to the conversation. He say like what he's doing. He even go to college here. And he volunteer as well. But he volunteered because his college pays for his college if he volunteers. And he also go to college here in America. So he's here 6 months and then he's gone 6 months. He's here 6 months, then he's gone 6 months. I don't want to live in two places every year. I want to live in my home, get up for work at my home. I want to get up from home and go to work around the corner down the street or an hour away, 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away from my home. Whether it's driving in a car or catching a bus, 2 buses, 3 buses. I don't want to have to keep catching flights and catching cruises because I want to go home today. And I want to get in my bed. And then I got to catch another flight next week. And I got to keep carrying suitcases and luggage. Well, I probably don't because I close there and close here. But my favorite watch is all the way in Jamaica. And I want to wear that today. So I got to go to Jamaica to get my damn shoes that I want. Or else I'm going to keep having to buy shoes because, I got all my heels here in America. But all my gym shoes in Jamaica. But here in America, we need steel-toe boots. But my steel-toe boots all the way in Jamaica at my house. You know, now I got to go buy a pair of steel-toe boots. Because I forgot my steel-toe boots. Now, over the years, I got 20 pairs of steel-toe boots. I'm just saying. Or work shoes. Steel-toe boots, work shoes. Because I work at Wendy's and McDonald's and Taco Bell at the same time in America. It's crazy work. It's crazy. And now I'm on the bus with foreigners. So I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I understood the conversation because I remember this because I got off right here before when I was headed to their school. Anyways, like I was saying, I understood the conversation because yes, Americans do complain about work. Like you can go somewhere and you'll see a group of females, lace front, nails done, looking good, looking fashion, cute. Because they get a government check, they give you stamps, they salon. But on not one of them bitches working with these McDonald's, Taco Bell, whoever, Rally's, Checkers. Girl, barely even work at Publix. And yet, you got foreigners that's here working. Hair not done. And if it is done, it's just braided up. They looking rough. You know, just working their ass off. But then when they go to their country, they look so damn good. Bust down, the hair done, nice ass nails, cute shoes. Because they gone for the next 6 months type shit. But yeah, I get it. I get it. But he told me that yesterday. And guess what? And the reason why I understand, because I was definitely one of those Americans working at Wendy's complaining real bad. I ain't working here. That's what I look like. I was one of them. And I don't even want to go back to Wendy's. And I've been at 7-Eleven for the longest. 7-Eleven is all I know. So I stick to a job. Now, thank God I'm not one of them Americans that complaining about my other jobs. I just didn't like working at Wendy's. But yet, a foreigner is in my position right now working at Wendy's. Working the register. Smiling. That same smile she smiled in front of the customers, the same smile she took home. It wasn't the fake smile. And then she go home like, no. Because she got a job here. And this is where her money is now. Her family's at home. Her mama's back at home in that country. Her uncles and aunties and cousins is back at home. And she able to send the $2 to everybody. And help her family. There you go. I'll send you $2. I'll send you $5. I'll send you $7. Well. You feel me? But not us. Our family don't do this with each other. And another thing. You got these foreigners living in the same house here in America while building 2, 3, 4 houses in their countries while working here, living in the same house. Because yes, our rent is high, our bills is high, our everything is high. So when you live in these kind of houses, yeah, it's high. It's high. But guess what? They live in these houses together as a squad because in their country, they got their own house. They got their own house. Not a deportation. But anyway. But in that country, everybody all those foreigners that live in the same house here in America, that's why they don't fight and argue, because they're only here for 6, 7 months. I've actually witnessed that. I've worked at a job for a year, I worked at a job 5 years in a row and watched people, I've got to know foreigners and stuff, and I've watched them, I've seen them all 6 months, and then when the summertime comes, when the kids out of school, they gone. I ain't seen them. It's now September. Oh, hey, where you been? Oh, in my country. Showing me pictures. Oh, this is what we did all summer. This is me and my kids. We did this. We did this. We went here. And we also visited some other countries. You know? I'm starting to think. I'm about to get a house in the country. I'm going to start putting my money in currency. I'm going to live in a homeless shelter and work hard. In that way, and get a passport for me and my daughter. And we're gonna live out the country as well. We're going out the country too. Because maybe I should, as he said. You should, but you should. but you should be a house now, because it just seemed like that's just what it is. Like that ass, you really go to these corner stores, it do be the same 2 people working in there. So for him to break down that in countries you will see all these restaurants in our country, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 employees. But in these same restaurants in their countries, probably 4 at the most. He said 4 at the most. So it'll be auntie, uncle, the other 2 is cousins. So no, they're not hungry. And they do that here because that's a lot of our corner stores. That's the mama. She been there all morning. You go back to that same store later. It's the dad. You go back at 12 o'clock at night. It's the brother. It's the dad's brother. Then you go back to the store in the morning. It's down the auntie. Yeah, that's how that goes. Oh, not to mention, here comes the nephew, and he's only 20. He's only 20. The nephew and nieces work on Saturdays and Sundays. But they're older. They don't do no holiday breaks. They're not closed on holidays. They're not closed on weekends. They're not closed. They don't even close at night. They're 12 hours. All the corner stores. Now, some of the corner stores that do close real late, it was demanded by the government because some areas are bad, and these people they keep coming here trying to rob these folks. But see, a lot of them have gun license because they gotta get them here. See, in countries, I'ma just shoot your ass if I think you put something in your pocket in another country. But here, you can't just pop in, you can't just bang bang. You gotta, say, hey, you did that your pocket, I'll shoot. Because you gotta have 60 W's for that situation. But not having it, of course, you're gonna be deported back to your country. Of course, you're gonna go to jail, blah, blah, blah. That's how that goes. But either way it goes, I get it. And I love foreigners. I love everything about the Caribbean because I'm learning about the Caribbean. And I think the Caribbean, I kid you not, I think it's very good. But anyway, I just have to tell y'all this story about what I learned from these foreigners yesterday. And it was an eye-opener for me. So now I'm gonna go back to Wendy's and be like, oh, work here again. I ain't gonna complain about y'all no more. Because if y'all follow me, I made a story a while back about the Haitians that I was working with at Wendy's and how they were treating me and acting towards me and how they did Christmas on my ass. They did not have an American Christmas, and that was bullshit. But anyway, talk to you later.